Okay, so before we get this started, I watched this video before. I think it's absolutely crazy how he did this. I don't know how. Literally genius. This guy is amazing, probably one of the richest guys in the world. We all know it's Bill Gates, okay? Founder of Microsoft. Absolute genius. He is a very nice guy, supports all these foundations, does a lot of things for people. He also started a program where millionaires, they give half of their wealth to charities and stuff like that. So, very good guy. And I thought that this was crazy because Bill Gates predicted COVID-19. He predicted this would happen. And I'm just going to let you watch this, and I'll just stop him every once in a while and just react to it, but it's literally insane. So, get ready.
When I was a kid, the disaster we worried about most was a nuclear war. That's why we had a barrel like this down in our basement, filled with cans of food and water. When the nuclear attack came, we were supposed to go downstairs, hunker down, and eat out of that barrel. Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't
got a
look
bald
like
spot.
this. Instead, it looks like this.
Influenza.
If
Literally,
anything
it's
kills
influenza.
over 10 million people
It's just a different
in
strain.
the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war.
He's
Not
right. He's literally
missiles,
right.
but microbes.
Genius. Literally genius.
Now, part of the reason for this is that we have invested a huge amount in nuclear deterrence. But we've actually invested very little in a system to stop an epidemic. We're not ready
Come on, guys.
for the next epidemic. Let's look at Ebola. I'm sure all of you read about it in the newspaper. Lots of tough challenges. I followed it carefully through the case analysis tools we use to track polio eradication. And as you look at what went on, the problem wasn't that there was a system that didn't work well enough.
He even got
problem
the
was that
correct
we didn't have
amount of
a system at
money
all.
that we lost just for one
In fact, there are
stimulus
some
package
pretty
in the United
obvious
States.
key missing pieces.
It's going to be even more than that. It's
We
crazy
didn't
how
have a group
much
of
money we're going to lose due
epidemiologists
to
ready
this.
to go who would have gone, seen what the disease was, see how far it had spread. The case reports came in on paper. It was very delayed before they were put online, and they were extremely inaccurate. We didn't have a medical team ready to go. We didn't have a way of preparing people. Now, Médecins Sans Frontières did a great job orchestrating volunteers, but even so, we were far slower than we should have been getting the thousands of workers into these countries. And a large epidemic would require us to have hundreds of thousands of workers.
Yeah, we clearly didn't have enough
There
workers.
was no one there to look at treatment
so many
approaches.
people got sick, and there's
no
the
one to
hospitals
look at the diagnostics, no one to
couldn't do anything
figure
about
out
it.
what tools should be used. As an example, we could have taken the blood of survivors, processed it, and put that plasma back in people to protect them. But that was never tried.
That's what they're doing now.
So there was
And
a
it's
lot that was
literally
missing.
working.
And
This guy is
these
a
things are
genius,
really
man. Bill Gates,
a
you're
global
awesome.
failure. The WHO is funded to monitor epidemics, but not to do these things I talked about. Now, in the movies, it's quite different. There's a group of handsome epidemiologists ready to go. They move in, they save the day, but that's just pure Hollywood. The failure to prepare could allow the next epidemic to be dramatically more devastating than Ebola.
It sure was. Sure
Let's
still
look at
is.
the
It's killing
progression
people every day.
of Ebola over this year. About 10,000 people died, and nearly all were in the 3 West African countries. There's 3 reasons why it didn't spread more. The first is there was a lot of heroic work by the health workers. They found the people and they prevented more infections. The second is the nature of the virus. Ebola does not spread through the air. And by the time you're contagious, most people are so sick that they're bedridden. Third, it didn't get into many urban areas, and that was just luck. If it had gotten into a lot more urban areas, the case numbers would have been much larger.
See, now
so next
it's
time
in
we might not be
urban
so
areas.
lucky. You can have a virus where people feel well enough while they're infectious that they get on a plane
what happened.
or they go
Exactly
to a market.
what happened. People
The
have
source
no
of the virus
symptoms,
could be a
but yet they
natural
have
epidemic
COVID.
like Ebola, or it could be bioterrorism. And so there are things that would literally
And we don't
make
even know.
things
This could have
1,000
been
times worse.
bioterrorism by China. I'm
In
not
fact,
saying
let's
it
look
is,
at
but it could
a
have been.
model
We don't know.
of a virus spread through the air like the Spanish flu back in 1918. So here's what would happen. It would
Holy
spread
cow.
throughout the world very, very quickly. And you can see there's over 30 million people die from that epidemic.
From the 1918
So this is a serious
flu.
problem.
Okay. Yeah,
We should be
this is going to be
concerned.
crazy.
But in fact, we can build a really good response system. We have the benefits of all the science and technology that we talk about here. We've got cell phones to get information from the public and get information out to them. We have satellite maps where we can see where people are and where they're moving. We have advances in biology that should dramatically change the turnaround time to look at a pathogen and be able to make drugs and vaccines that fit for that pathogen.
But it's still taking
So we
like
can have
months and
tools,
months.
but those tools need to be put into an overall global
so
health system, and we need
literally
preparedness.
way underprepared.
The best lessons, I think, on how to get prepared are, again, what we do for war. For soldiers, we have full-time waiting to go. We have reserves that can scale us up to large numbers. NATO has a mobile unit that can deploy very rapidly. NATO does a lot of war games to check
why
are
don't
people
we
well
have
trained?
a disease
Do they understand
unit, like
about fuel and
so there's
logistics
Army,
and the
Navy,
same radio
Coast
frequencies? So
Guard,
they are
Marines.
absolutely ready to go. So those are the kinds
We
of
should
things
have
we need
disease
to deal with an epidemic.
disease thing.
What are the key pieces? First is we need strong health systems in poor countries. That's where
Definitely did not
mothers
happen.
can give birth safely, kids can get all their vaccines, but also where we'll see the outbreak very early on. We need a medical reserve corps. Lots of people who've got the training and background who are ready to go with the expertise. And then we need to pair those medical people with the military, taking advantage of the military's ability to move fast, do logistics, and secure areas. We need to do simulations, germ games, not war games, so that we see where the holes are.
Why? Why haven't we done that?
The
Literally,
last time a germ
why?
game was done in the United States was back in 2001, and it didn't go so well. So far, the score is germs 1, people 0. Finally, we need lots of advanced R&D in areas of vaccines and diagnostics. There are some big breakthroughs, like adeno-associated virus, that could work very, very quickly.
Sucks now that
Now, I don't have an exact
we're not
budget
ready,
for what this would
and
cost,
it took over.
but I'm quite sure it's very modest compared to the potential harm. The World Bank estimates that if we have a worldwide flu epidemic, global wealth will go down by over $3 trillion.
If
And
not,
we'd have
it already
millions
has,
and
if not
millions
more.
of deaths.
Literally, so
These
crazy.
investments offer significant benefits beyond just being ready for the epidemic. The primary health care, the R&D, those things would reduce global health equity and make the world more just as well as more safe. So I think this should absolutely be a priority. There's no need to panic. We don't have to hoard cans of spaghetti or go down into the basement. But we need to get going because time is not on our side.
It sure
In
isn't.
fact, if there's one positive thing that can come out of the Ebola epidemic, it's that it can serve as an early warning, a wake-up call to get ready.
Tell you what, we did
If
not
we
wake
start
up.
now,
We slept through that alarm.
We can be ready for the next epidemic. Thank you.
Jeez. Holy cow. Isn't that just kind of crazy? Like, literally, isn't that just crazy to think about? If people would have listened to this 5 years ago, we would have been fine. Like, we would have been fine. We'd been prepared. We'd had a whole, like, people to react to it, like, medical team. enough hospitals and uh, healthcare of people to treat it, but we slept through the alarm. We never woke up from this. Like you said, I mean, we could have prepared. We had 5 years to prepare from him. Man, Bill Gates is a smart guy. Alright, so I guess that is going to conclude it for today. If you liked this video, please hit that subscribe button and the like button. And I'll see you.